Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going on a really fascinating journey through one of the most complex, most efficient factories on the entire planet, your very own digestive system.
Have you ever really thought about it? It is so much more than just chewing and swallowing. The moment that food passes your lips, you are flicking the switch on an incredible, fully automated factory designed to turn that meal into the very fuel that keeps you going.
So to really get how it all works, you got to think of a system in two main parts. First, you've got what we can call the main processing line. That's the long tube that everything travels down, and its scientific name is the gastrointestinal tract, or just GIT for short. Then you've got the support crew. These are the accessory organs that mix in all the essential chemicals needed for the job. So let's start our tour and follow a bite of food right down that main line.
All right, let's get into it. Our food's journey starts here, moving from the receiving dock all the way down the conveyor belt and into the first big processing vats. Okay, so it all kicks off in the mouth, obviously, where everything gets prepped. From there, it passes through the pharynx. Now, this is a super clever bit of engineering. It's this 12 to 14 centimeter tube that acts like a shared hallway for both your food and the air you breathe. After that, the food gets pushed down the esophagus, which is basically a 25 centimeter muscular chute that just squeezes everything down to the next big stop. And that next stop is, of course, the stomach. But it's not just a simple bag. It is actually the single most expandable part of the entire system. You should think of it like a dynamic, muscular mixing vat, just churning and breaking down food with acids so powerful they could literally dissolve metal. It's pretty intense in there.
Now, to control all of that churning, the stomach has two critical one-way gates. But here's what's so fascinating. They work in completely different ways. The upper gate is what we call a functional gate. See, there's no big, bulky muscle there. It just works by maintaining a zone of high pressure, kind of like a pressure seal on a container. But the lower gate, well, that's an anatomical gate. It's a real, powerful, thick ring of muscle that physically opens and closes like a security door, controlling exactly when food is ready to move on.
Okay, so once our food has been processed by the stomach, it's time to enter the longest and, honestly, the most critical part of the whole factory. The intestines. This is where the real magic happens. This is where we extract all the good stuff.
All right, get ready for this, because this number is just wild. The small intestine, all coiled up inside you right now, is a staggering 6.25 meters long. To put that into perspective for you, that is longer than most cars. It's just incredible.
And this incredibly long tube is actually split into three very specialized departments. First up is the 25 centimeter duodenum. It's a fixed C-shaped section that acts like a receiving dock where all the chemicals from the support crew get mixed in. Then you have the 2.5 meter jejunum. This section is highly vascular. That just means it's packed with blood vessels. And that's its job. It's the main absorption line, pulling out all the nutrients. And finally, you get to the 3.5 meter ileum, which is basically security and quality control, absolutely full of immune cells. The last stop on the main line is the 1.5 meter long large intestine. Think of this as the factory's final processing and waste management department. Its whole job is to absorb the last bits of water and get all the undigestible stuff ready for removal.
So, that whole main processing line we just talked about, well, it can't do its job alone. Nope, it needs critical supplies from the factory's support crew. But here's a fun fact. There's one organ that always gets included on this list that's actually a bit of an imposter.
First up in the support crew is the liver. This thing is the master chemical plant of the whole operation. It's the largest gland in your body, weighing around 1.5 kilos. And its biggest job for digestion is to produce a super important substance called bile, which is absolutely essential for breaking down fats.
Now, you always hear about the gallbladder and bile in the same sentence, right? And that actually leads to a really common misconception about where that bile actually comes from. And the answer is no! The gallbladder doesn't make a single drop of bile, not one. Think of it like this. The liver is the factory that makes the cleaning solution, right? The gallbladder is just a small, on-demand storage tank. It holds that solution, it concentrates it to make it even more powerful, and then it releases it at the perfect moment, right when you eat fatty foods. It's a reservoir, not a producer.
Next up is the pancreas. And this organ is a brilliant multitasker. It's basically two glands in one. It has an exocrine job, which means it makes digestive enzymes for the digestive tract. And it has an endocrine job, meaning it makes essential hormones like insulin that go directly into the bloodstream for the whole body. What a workhorse.
And finally, it's time to meet our imposter, the spleen. Let me be perfectly clear, the spleen has absolutely zero to do with digestion. Its real job is filtering your blood and helping out your immune system. So why on earth is it always on digestive system charts? Well, it's basically just a case of being in the wrong neighborhood. It happens to share the same power lines, the same arterial blood supply, as the stomach and the liver, so it's included because of its location, not its function.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, it's just brilliant. From that one simple bite of food, this incredibly intricate and perfectly coordinated factory just gets to work, all on its own, turning that bite into the complex fuel your body absolutely needs to thrive.
It's really just a marvel of biological engineering, isn't it? The next time you sit down for a meal, just take a second to remember that amazing automated factory working away inside you, turning that food into life itself. And you know, it kind of makes you wonder, what other hidden systems are humming away inside us right now, doing incredible jobs we don't even think about?